So in this video today, we're going to be talking about how dividends are going to work on the M1 Finance investing app. Now, a lot of people really like M1 Finance, especially dividend investors, because it allows you to have a type of dividend reinvestment. Now, it's a little bit different than your traditional brokerage offering a DRIP, because the way I describe it is it's a portfolio level dividend reinvestment. And that may sound confusing, but I'm going to explain it to you guys in a very simple way in just a second here. One thing I do want to mention real quick, if you guys are looking to learn more about the basics of M1 Finance, how to open up a brokerage account, how to build a portfolio, and the ins and outs of this app, I actually put together a completely free 30-minute video training on how to use M1 Finance for beginners, and that is going to be linked up down in the description below. Completely free training that walks you guys through the whole process step by step of how to use M1 Finance as a complete beginner. But that being said, let's go ahead and open the app and talk about what is going to happen when you own stocks or ETFs that earn dividends in M1 Finance. Okay, so here we are inside my M1 Finance portfolio. It's just a small $100 portfolio I put in here for demonstration purposes. And in this portfolio, I have the Vanguard 500 ETF, Amazon stock, Apple stock, and Microsoft. And a couple of these investments here do pay dividends. So the first thing I want to show you is the dividends that I've earned so far from this portfolio, and you can view your dividend history by simply going over here on the left and selecting activity. So as you can see, I have earned quite a few dividends since opening this portfolio. I opened it in February of 2019, I funded it with $100, and February 14th I earned my first dividend of 4 cents from Apple. Now this is a very small $100 portfolio, so obviously that is not a lot of money to be earning, but if I had, $1,000 or $10,000 in here, that dividend would be more significant. I earned a dividend from Microsoft, a dividend from the Vanguard 500 fund, and I've been continuing to earn these quarterly dividends from Apple, Microsoft, and Vanguard. Well, what's going to happen with these dividends is that this money is going to go towards your cash balance held within the account, and I'll show you guys what mine is right now. If you go over here on the main portfolio section and you press this up arrow, you can see my cash balance is currently $1.10, and I have auto invest turned on. So basically, this is what happens when you earn dividends with M1 Finance. Those dividends are going to go towards your cash balance, and then once your cash balance exceeds $10, that money is going to be invested across your entire portfolio. And so that is why I call this a portfolio level dividend reinvestment and not a stock level dividend reinvestment. Because my portfolio is set up like this. 50% of my money is going to go towards the Vanguard 500 ETF, 30% is going to go towards Amazon, 10% is going to go towards Apple, and 10% towards Microsoft. And so what's going to happen is once I meet that $10 minimum threshold, that money is going to be deployed across these 4 investments, and M1 Finance is going to attempt to bring me back to my target allocation. I know this may be a lot coming at you guys at once here, but let me try to explain this a little bit more simply here. When you invest with any brokerage out there, you're going to experience something called portfolio drift, which is where every stock is going to behave differently, or ETF is going to behave differently. As you can see here, I've had a 13.47% return with the Vanguard 500 ETF, 7.27% return from Amazon, 45.27% return from Apple, and just about a 40% return from Microsoft, meaning that my allocations are a little bit skewed. I'm a little bit underweight in Vanguard and Amazon, as you can see by the percentages. My goal was to have 50% of my money in Vanguard, it's at 48. My goal was to have 30% of my money with Amazon, it's at 27.6. And I'm overweight in Apple and Microsoft. I currently have 12.3% of my portfolio in Apple and 11.9% in Microsoft when my target allocation was 10. So let's say I continue earning dividends from these different companies and my cash balance hits $10. Well, that money is going to be deployed into this portfolio and spread across these 4 investments. And what M1 Finance is going to do is they're going to attempt to rebalance this portfolio by putting a little bit more money in what I'm underweight in, so Amazon and Vanguard, and a little bit less money in what I'm overweight in, which is Apple and Microsoft. So anytime money is coming into the portfolio or going out of the portfolio, M1 Finance is always going to attempt to rebalance it to bring you back to your target allocations. So overall, M1 Finance is a great platform for dividend investors as long as you're comfortable with that portfolio level dividend reinvestment. So overall, for dividend investors looking for a platform that's fee-free and commission-free with a dividend reinvestment, it is a great option out there. But anyways, guys, that's going to wrap up this video. That is how dividends work on M1 Finance. Like I said, if you want to check out that free 30-minute training, that's going to be linked up down in the description below. But thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video.